How are you, Dal? Very good. Now,
Hello.
you wanted to have a slide up here first up that says, surviving, not thriving. What's that about?
Well, that's about where I was prior to I Love Real Estate.
Tell
where
me
I've
about
been
that.
For a long time. Okay, over the last 15 months, I've lost 40 kilos.
Let's just talk about that, because I really, really wanted you up here. In fact, I rang you and said, I want your story. And
yes.
you nearly had a heart attack.
Yes.
You're going to stand up in front of 500
Yeah.
people and
Yeah.
talk on stage with me. But this was you not so long ago.
Yeah. When the competition was announced, I had no concept that my story, it's got nothing to do with real estate, would be a story worth telling. Rob had been telling Dimpner about my weight loss over time when he'd seen her.
I think it's a little more than just weight loss.
And then Dimpner got on a video chat with me and said, I want your story, you've got to enter, you've got to. And I was like, oh, well, Dimpner says I've got to enter, so I'm going to enter. And I spoke to Rob and he said, look, there might be somebody in the audience that could be inspired to change something about their life that they think is impossible to change.
That's right. And I've spoken to Rob. Rob's been in Platinum, and we've spoken about your story. And I really want to tell people where you were at
Yeah.
before I Love Real Estate. Because you really came to I Love Real Estate as Rob's partner, kicking and screaming.
Well, no, I was keen because I've always liked real estate. And when we met 2.5 years ago, and he was in this cult, so I thought I better check it out.
The Bohol cult. Yep.
And make sure. And so I checked, and it was all good. And
So it's not a cult now.
so I was keen to come along.
Yeah.
But I didn't see that there would be necessarily anything in this for me, because I'm a broke old fat chick, basically.
You have been in the past.
That's
You're
it.
not today.
And so I'd always been big, my whole adult life, basically. And I didn't see there was any escape from that. That's just how it was. It was impossible. And I had bad knees for a very long time. Mum took me to the doctor when I was 8 because my knees were so painful. It's growing pains, don't worry about it. When I was 18, it was really bad and I couldn't work, basically, and I was now in Australia. And went to the doctor, and it turned out there was a piece of broken bone, and I already didn't have any cartilage by 18 in the left knee. And the surgeon said, it's like an 80-year-old woman's knee. You'll be back by the time you're 30 for a replacement. Well, I still got my own knees, but they're stuffed. So, and then being big doesn't help.
No,
by
course not.
any means, any of that.
So, talking to Rob, one of the events that you came to that kind of changed things for you was the Millionaire Within.
Yeah, it was.
And when you went to that event, you didn't really want to be on this earth, did you?
No, I didn't. I was in so much pain at that event. I was sitting in, and I feel sorry for anyone that sits near me because of a back injury, I fidget a lot. And I thought, this must be driving people mental that I keep fidgeting. And even to go from the door to where the toilets were, I'd have to brace myself and think, okay, can I get to the toilet? At least there's a sit down at the end of that, you know. And we were listening to Cindy O'Meara.
Yep.
And there was nothing she was saying that I didn't know already. I could tell a million other people what she was saying. I knew it all. But for some reason, I didn't think it was worth doing for me.
Which is all the other stuff that we talk about at Millionaire Within.
Yeah. And I just sat there and thought, why the hell aren't I doing this? Why aren't I doing this for me? Why aren't I making the changes that I need to make so that I don't feel like I'm welcoming an early grave? Because I developed high blood pressure. I've got an arrhythmia, which was made majorly worse. I was having to take all this Voltaren, which was making all that worse. And I thought, I'm a stroke waiting to happen. And I was thinking, that wouldn't be so bad if it just finishes me off. That's where I was at. So I literally felt a switch in my head, like a big switch. I could see the switch, like a big switch you'd shut down a factory with. And I was just like, I've got to do it for me. Mm-hmm. I'm worth doing it for me. And because I write notes to poor old Rob there.
That's it, you're worth it.
And I wrote the note and I just said, I flicked the switch. Like I heard the clunk of the switch, this is it. And then the other exercise you have us do where we write the letters to ourselves. And I thought, if I wrote the letter saying you're taking control of your health, and I thought, if I get this letter in a year's time and I haven't done it, that's me out. I'm done. Mm-hmm. I can't live like this. I've got a grandchild coming. She's now here. And, I've got things to, like, in my previous slide I said multiple bottom lines. There's a lot about my life that's been fantastic, apart from being in pain and all sorts of health things and whatever. There's a lot of really good things, but it's so out of balance. Mm-hmm. So out of balance.
So what happened when you got your letter a year later?
Well, it was great to get the letter and go, yeah, because I'd lost 20 kilos by that stage.
Yeah.
And I'd never even, like people say, battling with your weight. I never battled with my weight. I had a white flag right at the beginning when I first got fat. I was like, yeah, I'm fat, surrender, that's that. And on that previous slide where it said Blackpool Rock, that's any of you that are POMs know about a Blackpool Rock lolly with the word Blackpool all the way through it. That was me. That was, fat and in pain was written all the way through me. Wherever you cut, that's what it would say. That was totally who I was.
So the big changes for you was wheat?
Yeah, I knew wheat wasn't good. If I ate too much wheat and corn, I'd got dermatitis quite badly. And it wasn't making, every joint hurt, everything, all sorts of...
But I think more than what you put in your mouth, it was also the attitude that you had.
Yeah.
Because with that switch, it's like, I'm worth it. And I don't think you felt that before.
Yeah. Like the actual eating properly and doing the changes I need to make on a practical level is the tiniest part of it.
Yep.
That switch...
The same with property. Yep.
Is the bit. And that's a picture taken 2017 at my eldest son's wedding. So on the left is Rob, then there's me. And the most expensive thing about my outfit was the underwear to hold my gut in. I wasted me money. Like, I spent all that money on that hold your gut in stuff. I don't bother. But anyway, I thought it helped. And my lovely daughter-in-law, go back a minute. Sorry. You go back. My son Douglas, who has a butcher shop. If any of you are in Atherton on the Atherton Tablelands, because I live up north inland from Cairns, go to Cross Custom Meats, have a look. That's where you get your meat from. And then my second son, Charlie, he lives in Townsville. He's a driller, but he has, if you're in Townsville and need metal fabrication, Cross Fab is his business. So
and here's your gorgeous...
Look, there she is.
Granddaughter.
Isn't she precious?
So you've lost a total of 42 kilos.
Yep.
That's a lot.
Yep.
And what's amazing with that, if you're sitting here, that was one event, that changed Louise's life.
Yeah.
So if you're thinking, should I go to this event? Yeah. Should I not? If you take action on what you're hearing, then, the sky's the limit.
Yeah.
I'd actually like to bring up your partner, Robbie, sitting there in the front row. Come up here, Rob. Come on. Over here. Now, Rob, how many years you been in Platinum?
2.
2. I remember when we were in Bali, I think it was, we were having a bit of a chat about things, Platinum Group, and you made a comment that's always stuck with me, that you feel like you've found your mob.
That's right.
And that mob is the support network and the attitudinal support that I think is so important. And I mean, you've obviously been a massive support for Louise through this journey. But tell me the Louise that walked into Millionaire Within before these change.
Oh, going to get in trouble here, aren't I? Well, she's got more confidence now than she had then.
Yep.
She's always been the same sort of person, like funny and all that kind of stuff, you know.
Yep.
But she was just different back then. She was timid and all that, so.
So you've obviously witnessed this change. How proud are you?
Oh, real proud, yeah. Yeah.
And you should be. You should be. Now, it's obviously a real estate event here.
Yeah.
You're even getting into the real estate.
Well, it's about, like it says, buying a house at garage sale. I didn't buy the house at garage sale, but it was about what happened to my mum. I was driving to work a Saturday morning, and I was feeling that, okay, I've done what for me was impossible. I'd never even tried to lose weight and get healthy. I'd done the impossible. So if the impossible
was possible. Yeah.
Maybe I could, because I haven't owned a house since the late 90s when the bank changed the locks on it. And anyway.
Don't go there.
Drama. Maybe I could
Buy a
again.
house.
Yeah, buy a house. So I went to a garage sale, and this is also about having conversations with people. You never know where things are going to happen. And this house, I knew, had been on the market for a year, and it was another garage sale where she was selling the last of her things. And she said, oh, I just wish I could sell the house, whatever. And I said, oh, any chance you do vendor finance? Oh, no, I can't afford to do that, We went in the house to have a look at the furniture she was selling in there. And she said, oh, I had a girl who was interested in doing a rent to buy, but she hasn't got back to me. I'm like...
But see, you wouldn't have known those words. Right. You wouldn't have known what those words meant.
Well, that's sort of what I'm saying.
No kidding.
Yeah. So it just does pay to keep having... It hasn't happened, but she's on a pension. Her son's been paying the mortgage for her. He's now no longer going to be in the job, but she needs someone to buy the house, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm not buying the house, but it pays to have... But I could just been driving...
Yep.
And saw a garage sale sign, but I just had that thought, maybe it is possible.
It is possible.
So it was about flicking that switch for that too.
And in my last conversation with Rob that you don't even know about, but in our last conversation only last week, Rob said, oh my God, Louise is unstoppable. He said, what am I going to do with her? She's out of garage sales now putting, deals together. So yes, even Rob's going, okay, I need to...
Yeah. And I get the benefit from him being in Platinum because he messaged me from an event that you might have held and said, you need to get the 5-minute rule book.
Oh, yeah.
5 second.
5 second rule.
And so while he's still at the event, I downloaded and started listening. I was saying, right, I'm doing it. I'm up at 5 a.m. now. So, yeah, I recommend that book.
So well done.
Get out of your own way.
Congratulations,
Yeah, thank
guys.
you.
Well done. Glad to have you here.